This video is brought to you by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show.
Nice one.
Isn't it pretty?
We head out on the Tangier Sound to do a little light tackle casting in the shallows in hopes that we'll hook up with some speckled trout.
That's what we come to get. Hopefully get a few more.
And families from far and wide flock to Wicomico County to find hidden treasures using satellite technology. We tag along on a geo-cache dash.
There's another Mako, Billy. Looks like it.
Plus, Scorchy and company go fishing for some monster Makos on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Tawes.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Tawes. We'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in a few minutes. Well, no doubt there are endless ways to catch fish here on Delmarva, but one of my favorites is light tackle casting in the shallow water. And that's exactly what we're doing today at an undisclosed location on Tangier Sound, somewhere outside of Crisfield, Maryland. And the targeted fish for today's adventure is speckled trout. Now, if you've tuned in the last couple weeks, you've probably seen some pictures sent in by our friend Danny Wynn, where him and his wife have really been tearing up the specks here in the Sound. And they were kind enough to have me tag along with them to see if their luck would continue. We meet at the small boat harbor in Crisfield, where Danny and Julie Wynn launched their 20-foot G3 center console. The watermen are still making their way out to the crabbing grounds at this time of day, just as the sun is rising over the Little Anamessex River.
It's going to be a pretty day. We're going to attempt to find these speckled trout that we've been catching a few of, and hopefully the wind will hold up. I don't think it's going to blow today, but if it's a nice day and the tide does what it's supposed to do, I think we'll get into them, hopefully. Once we get to our destination, somewhere in Tangier Sound, lines are cast, and it doesn't take long for Danny to hook up.
Okay, here we go.
Just a few casts in, and Julie is grabbing the net for a nice speckled trout.
Wow. That'll make the gravy stink right there, buddy. He's one of the prettiest, I think, fish caught on salt water.
With Danny off to a good start, and after a handful of casts and a little boat repositioning, he gets another hit on the line. Turns out to be another keeper. And that leads Julie to spill the beans on why Danny has been so lucky.
He takes the point and he guides his boat carefully. He ends up taking and casting out right where they would be, and I'm on the back of the boat. Can't even cast close to where he is.
So she drops him a hint or two.
Kind of put it towards the, help me out here.
But Julie isn't one that needs a lot of help.
Like that, I got one.
Even though it's a rock, what the winds call a trash fish, Julie's happy to get that first one.
Trash fish.
And with all the trout they've been catching, no wonder they'd rather not deal with these little stripers.
We had fish coming up trying to hit the lure in the fish's mouth while we were bringing them. It was unbelievable. Nice size fish too. We could see them. That'll mess you up. You know what I mean?
After a few more trash fish, it's apparent we've hit a dry spell when it comes to trout. But in this matrimony full of friendly banter, Julie and Danny have made the most of their time together on the water.
It's the only time I can spend with him.
Why's that?
Because he can't go anywhere on the boat. He's stuck with me.
Yeah, she's my buddy. We fish a lot together. She enjoys this as much as I do. She might not show it, but she does. And we've been fishing together we've been fishing together as long as we've known each other, and that's been over 26, 27 years now.
The fishing never stops as Julie gets one on the line. And as it hits the surface, it looks like something other than a so-called trash fish.
A little bit of a slump, but we got back into him. That's a nice fish. Nice fish. We're just catching our second wind here. Tide's getting ready to pick up, start running a little harder, and then hopefully things will start to pick up with it. Sometimes you just got to give these fish a little time.
And while waiting for the fish, the beauty of shallow water casting is that you never seem to get bored.
Let's keep a rock.
This is one trash fish that won't be going back.
Ain't our target species for the day, but he'll be all right.
Julie is back in the hot seat, and we wait for her catch to surface, hoping to see some specks in the water.
Oh, it's a nice trout.
The winds get this nice-looking fish on the boat, and at 21 inches, earns a seat in their cooler. The small rocker back, and Julie realizes that Danny is up to his old tricks
He
again.
likes to aim at the places he likes to go. He doesn't like to share in the glory.
But Julie keeps the hot rod, hooking up with a couple of rockfish. Then she lands this one, pulling drag and putting up quite the fight.
Trust me.
Look.
Rock. We'll be reaching.
Is that what he's...
Play him out, wear him out.
Nice one.
That's a keeper.
Hey, right here.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper, one.
The fish would fizzle out after that, but regardless, it has still been a winner for the winds.
And this is the only way we fish now, casting lures in shallow water. And it's more productive. It's a much more productive way to catch rock and trout. I'd rather do this kind of fishing really than any other kind.
And fishing with his bride somewhere out in the Tangier Sound ensures that all the winds will have a good time.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Coming up next, what do you get when you add some GPS coordinates, 20 well-hidden treasures, and your family? The Wicomico County Geocache Dash.
But first, did you know? Despite their names speckled trout, or spotted sea trout as they're also known, these fish are not members of the trout family. What family of fish do speckled trout belong to? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Aurora Agronomy. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
That's what we come to get. Hopefully get a few more.
Did you know? Speckled trout are actually members of the drum family. The male fish will actually drum or croak during spawning to attract females.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
You know, it's always fun to get outdoors here on Delmarva, but when you can include the whole family, it's even that much better. And that's when we discovered an event that combines two strange bedfellows, satellite technology and kayaks. There's a treasure hunt of sorts going on at Winter Place Park in Wicomico County this morning, a high-tech treasure hunt at that, and it's attracting folks from all over.
We have people from New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Someone even from Utah is going to be here today.
Today, these visitors will get a good look at Wicomico County because there are 20 targets or caches to find.
The location a lot of times is the real treasure in this.
I've cached from New York City all the way down to Florida, North Carolina, Lake Erie. It's a great adventure.
Geocaching is relatively simple, using a GPS device to find hidden targets, although everyone has his or her preferred method for finding their treasure.
We just love this game.
If you got a Magellan, you're hardcore.
So I do have a cell phone, but they're not as accurate as this.
You have to have signal.
Yeah, and you have to have signal.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of places down here where you don't have cell phone signal. So
Let's hit the van and head to the trails.
We're tagging along with the Temeskis from Bridgeville, Delaware today, and they'll give us an idea as to what this family-friendly activity is all about.
Take it around to the right.
On the GPS, it has distance to the cords, and we follow the compass. Right now, we're 0.13 away from it. We should be there within, like, it says 22 seconds, but depends on how fast we're walking. So the cords are bringing us within 2 feet, so we know it was inside these trees. Bradley's looking at the cache itself. You want to show him the cache, Brad?
You'll have to prove that you found your target, of course, and this is usually done by writing down a password on the log provided at each cache.
Can't hurt a GPS, and we're off to the next one.
There are 2 water targets in this year's dash, so unless you're a strong swimmer, you'll have to take a kayak to reach them.
It's about a 10-minute paddle out there and back.
And this one on the pond at Shoemaker Park is not going to give away its hiding place easily.
I knew they were close. They got GPSs or something, so. But yeah, I hinted to this one lady. She could not find it, and I just told her that she had to go around, so.
One of the targets on the dash takes geocachers to the historic Whitehaven Hotel and the scene of perhaps the most challenging cache of the afternoon. As the McFarland family from Rockville, Maryland are soon to find out. Their GPS coordinates have taken them to this shed on the property, and given the number of items around the shed, this cache could be anywhere. They're soon joined by other geocachers who are equally mystified. Until finally, Eureka!
Hey! Where was it?
Under the pebbles.
Oh, it's got a fake cover top on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a 1.5 difficulty. I didn't even consider looking there.
Evil.
It brought me over here originally. I missed it. Good job finding it.
On an easier one, you would move the brick and it would be right there. But this is a little bit more challenging.
But at the end of the day, this friendly group of adventurers will get together to trade war stories, swap strategies, and savor the rewards of an afternoon well spent.
The day went great. The caches were really good. Rain, sleet, snow, or hail, we're caching. We're having a great day.
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
And coming up next on the show, go shark fishing with Scorchy in this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
And we had a savage strike immediately. That fish got what he wanted and went on his merry way.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Well, shark fishing can be challenging, and on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic, we see just how rewarding it can be when you hook up with a couple of Makos.
Captain Bill Duncan of the Islander was our host. It was early Monday morning when son Tim Taw's friends Otwell and Bobby Goldsboro and I headed for the Fingers some 30 to 35 miles offshore of Ocean City. We made a short pause at the first lump for mate John Wildman to catch bluefish for bait, then continued on to our destination. Once we arrived, John quickly had the bait, chum, and oil slick in the water, and we had a savage strike immediately. That fish got what he wanted and went on his merry way. In little or no time, we had another strike. Captain Bill Duncan had put us on him.
Okay, let's get somebody in the chair.
In a flash, Tim Taws was in the fighting chair and the battle was on. We had decided ahead of time that Tim and Bobby would get the first 2 shots at fish. Me and Otwell would take the leavings. Our intentions were to also release all sharks that were not Makos.
Got some color to him. Looks like a little Mako. He got a blue top on him.
Oh, I hope so.
Got some color to him. Okay, hold right there. Hold on. Don't let go of the rod.
I got it.
Yeah.
You just don't know what to do.
You just hold on to the rod there. Yeah, I believe it is a Mako. Nice Mako. Hold on. Look here, he's eating the side of the boat. Look at him, get a shot of that. He's eating the side of the boat. What? He got mad on that, he chewing the boat up.
That shark was aggravated, and just 20 minutes later we were hooked up again, and Bobby was in the chair.
Okay, it's another Mako, Billy. Looks like it. Okay, hold it right there. Hold him right there now. Yeah, another Mako. Nice fish. Whine, whine, whine. I'm afraid of his teeth, Billy.
At this point, with the wind steadily increasing, Otwell and I decided to forego our chance for a Mako. It was only a little after high noon when we told Billy to head her home. Getting the two sharks in the boat in the sloppy seas was quite a chore. It was truly a team effort. Back at the docks, Bobby's fish tipped the scales at 369 pounds, Tim's at 184. A great day with Captain Bill Duncan of the Islander. We'll all be eating Mako steaks for months to come. Scorchy Taws wandering our Delmarva's land for WBOC News.
Coming up next on the show, summer is a good time to beat the crowds and get ready for next season's hunt. We've got some tips from our friends at Shooter's Choice.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Taws, and we're back here with our good friends at Shooter's Choice, always on target with all your firearms needs, conveniently located on Route 13 in Dover, Delaware. Well, we're getting into the summer months now, and that means people might be a little more focused on the water, going to the beach, boating, fishing, but it's always a good time to head into Shooter's Choice. Joining me now is Charlie Ross. Charlie, how are you?
How are you, Andrew? Nice to see you.
Same here. So, Charlie, what do you guys do in the summertime? Why are people coming into the store?
Summertime is a great time. We come in here, folks have relatives and things on vacation, people on vacation. They come in here to shoot on the range, to give them a new outlook on another sport. Can't spend all summer at the beach and can't fish all the time. So we have a full service range here where the folks come in. You got to remember that early teal season is right around the corner in September. Guys can also get their muzzle loaders and their shotguns all sighted in so they don't have to wait to that night before to get ready to go.
And Charlie, I hear that you guys have a new station set up in the remodeled store for setting up scopes.
Yes, we do. We have a place where it's a little more private, a little more room, so we can get in there and have all our tools available to us without tying up the front counter where our customers out here on the retail part.
Right. Well, Charlie, this looks like a really open spot back here for you to do your work, and this must be where all the magic happens.
Well, it is. We get quite a few scopes. If you purchase a scope from us, we will mount it free of charge. And we will also bore sight it, and if you have a problem with it on the range, we will actually go in the range with you and help you get it the way you need it.
So there are really no excuses for not being on target?
Absolutely no excuse.
Charlie, you mentioned earlier about early teal season, which starts in September. What's a good gun for knocking down those birds?
Well, I'm going to recommend a Remington Nitro 887. Fully camouflaged, ready to go. Pump gun, shoots a 3.5-inch shell as well as a 3-inch and a 2 3/4. Just a ticket for knocking down them little speeding teal all the time. Right on target every time here.
Charlie, thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
All right. And it's always a good time to come into Shooter's Choice for hunting, sport shooting, personal protection, and education. Shooter's Choice, located right here on Route 13 in Dover, Delaware. Always on target for all your firearms needs in any season. And we'll be right back.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at some of your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Wink Sporting Goods. And we'll be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Aurora Agronomy.
And it's time now to take a look at some of your latest viewer videos and pictures. This photo was sent in by Captain Dan Selby of Misdemeanor Charters. Pictured is 11-year-old Chase Baker of Bishopville, Maryland, holding just one of his 10 stripers, this one measuring 29 inches. Check out this 23-inch speckled trout caught by Erin Mason on an artificial lure. She's fishing with, you guessed it, Danny Wynn on his boat in Tangier Sound. Well, that wraps up another week of adventures for us here on the show, and Willie, I gotta tell you, those specks were a lot of fun to catch, and even though I can't tell you exactly where we were, you don't have to go far to catch them.
That's a secret, eh? Now that geocaching looks like a lot of fun too. It's a great mixture of the outdoors and modern technology, and quite a challenge. So until next time, for my partner Andrew Taws, I'm Captain Willie Dykes, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.